Are you thinking about buying a home in the Triangle area, but you're just not quite sure where to start? Well, this is the exact video for you because I'm going to be breaking down my complete blueprint on how to buy a home in the Triangle area the right way without overspending. So make sure you watch to the end because missing just one of these steps could cost you. Hey, my name is Jared. Welcome to MyAgentJared.com, where you will find real estate information that no one else is sharing with you. Okay, let's jump into it. First things first, let's make the decision. Are you really wanting to do this, or is this a Saturday night idea that you had that has since worn off? If the answer is yes and you definitely want to buy, let's continue. Now, before you start looking for a house, you want to have an idea of what you realistically can afford. Many people skip this step and immediately go try to view the first house that they see online, and that only ends in heartbreak. What you want to do is at least start with an online calculator just to get a gauge of what you can afford, but the best thing to do is get connected with a lender and get pre-approved. And if you want to get connected with one of my preferred lenders, just check the comments below. Now that you've gotten connected with the lender and you have an idea of what your budget would be, here's where you can take a look at the types of real estate that are available to you and your situation in the Triangle. You can always go to MyAgentJared.com and use the filters there contingent on your budget and needs, which will leave you with the homes that are available. By the way, if you're finding any value in this video, if you could do me a quick favor, like, comment, subscribe, I'd appreciate it. Thanks. Now, here are some pro tips when it comes to choosing a home. You'll want to focus first on the things that you absolutely must have. And usually those things are location-based, like being near to certain schools, or considering the commute to work, or maybe even close to a family that you might have in the area. You'll also want to take in consideration structural items like how many bedrooms you'll need, or the size of the yard that you're looking for. And then once you've broken that part down, you can start focusing on some of the smaller specifics. And those tend to be the cosmetic things usually. The best way to stay within budget is to establish that list of what you absolutely need and then agree to do the things that you simply want to do to your home a little bit later on down the line. Now here's the thing, and it may sound a little self-serving, so I'm warning you ahead of time because it really is important. It's at this point that you must reach out to a real estate agent. My contact information is below if you don't have one, and I can help you out anywhere in the country. Now, realistically, your agent can help you with that previous step of getting connected with a lender, but it's at this point that you'll need to connect with a realtor because that's the person that's going to be helping you find the homes that fit your needs, get you access to see those homes, help you put together a strategy for negotiations, and help you from start to finish throughout the entire home buying process once you've actually landed a deal. And please hear me, do not ever, and I mean ever, use the agent that's listing the home. They do not represent you or your best interests. Now, don't get me wrong, they'll absolutely help you write that offer and get the deal set. But at every moment along the way, they are working for the sellers. So if you see a listing online and you can call that agent, or you're riding through a neighborhood or subdivision and there's a brand new model home that you can walk into and tour, they're working for the seller. And since they have someone representing them, someone to help represent you and your best interests. And even if you don't want to have me as your agent, have someone in your corner. 99% of the time, having a buyer's agent won't actually cost you anything, but not having one very well may end up costing you in the end. So you've done a bunch of searching, you found the perfect home. What's next? It's time to get that contract written up. Now, what goes into making a contract really depends specifically on your financing and the type of home that you're looking to purchase. Personally, I have a strategy session with each of my clients before we write up our first offer so we know exactly what we'll need in order to structure the perfect deal. It's all about being educated and very well prepared. And if you want to get hooked up with your own personalized strategy session, just check the description below. Now, I'll get this question a whole lot. How much money do I need set aside in order to buy a home? Well, there's no one size fits all set number that fits everyone across the board. How much you'll need specifically all depends on the type of financing you have. That's why step one in getting connected with a lender is so very important to the process. But there are a few out-of-pocket costs that you can prep for before you get started. In fact, you've got 3 sets of costs that you can plan for when you're buying. The first set of costs are your pre-closing costs or your out-of-pocket expenses. And these are usually due upfront around the time that you go under contract. Those are going to be your due diligence fee, your earnest money deposit, any inspections you do, and your appraisal. The first two, your due diligence and earnest money, are usually paid right up front around the time that you go under contract. There's no set number for what these will be, as these are negotiated initially when you're submitting your offer and you're getting your deal set. And don't worry, if you've never heard of these, I've got you completely covered. I'll be dropping a video explaining both of them at the very end. Now, as far as your inspections go, there are a few different types of those, and those are usually paid directly to the inspector at the time that they're conducted. So once you found a home, you order the inspection, and those are paid then as well. Now, if you're getting a loan for your purchase, around the same time that your inspections are being conducted, your lender will need to order an appraisal for your home. And that usually gets paid up front as well when the lender orders it. So up front, you got whatever you're putting down in due diligence and earnest money, your inspections costs, and appraisal. Those round out your pre-closing expenses. Next, you have your at-closing expenses, which is usually listed as your cash to close. And this is usually made up of whatever your loan down payment may be, plus any of your closing costs, which are usually attorney fees, prorated taxes, lender's fees, any required escrows, and any other smaller fees in getting the transaction done. These are all paid in one lump sum on the day of closing. And your lender will usually give you an idea of what these will be before you even make your first offer. Last are your post-closing expenses. And those would include things like setting up your utilities, any moving expenses, any brand new furniture, or any upgrades or changes that you might make to your new home. Now, there's no set number for what you should have saved because, again, everybody's situation is different. But a good rule of thumb for first-time home buyers in our area is to have around 5% of whatever price point of home that you're looking for saved and ready to go. Not that it'll cost you 5% to cross the finish line, and depending on your circumstances, it very well may cost you more, but having about as much allows you to navigate things a little bit more comfortably. And getting things done for less is certainly a possibility, especially if you have an absolutely astounding agent in your corner helping you out with it. So there you go. If you're thinking about buying a home in the Triangle area, now you have a pretty good idea of how it's done. If I can personally be of help in any way, my contact information is below. Remember, no matter where you are, I can help you all across the country through my network. And if you're not quite ready to take the next step, and maybe you want to learn a little bit more about due diligence fees and earnest money deposits, check this video out next. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.